The Giants have a top 3 draft pick. This time, it might not be about finding a quarterback. It's about everything else. For the first time in a while, they actually have quarterbacks, like plural. Russell Wilson, James Winston, those are 2 veteran guys who've seen it all, they've won games, don't need babysitting. That's the good news. The bad news, the rest of the roster could still use some help. This number 3 pick could reshape this team's entire future. But before I begin, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind later. My name's Tyler Carmona, I'm a writer for Sports Illustrated, and I play wide receiver at Savannah State. And today, we're figuring out what the Giants can do at number 3. First of all, the Giants probably aren't taking a quarterback at number 3 now. Even Adam Schefter and Louis Riddick were talking about that on ESPN. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
They would not hesitate and secure the long-term future of this franchise, but it would have to be the right quarterback. And I don't know whether that's Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, or whether they would even take Shedeur Sanders at 3. But if one of those quarterbacks, clearly like Cam Ward, if he were available and they could get him, I don't think they'd hesitate at all in taking him and securing the long-term future of this team.
Golly, I mean, it feels like Cam Ward's not going to still be there, especially with the expectations that he'd be number 1 overall. Louis, you're our resident GM here. What would you do? Should the Giants now just take the best player available, or should they try to draft Shedeur still?
Well, they shouldn't try and draft Shedeur, Laura, if they don't really like him, if they don't really love him. Let's put it that way. Because, look, John Mara wants to, as Adam is alluding to, the long-term future of this franchise secured at quarterback. He doesn't want them to just kind of pacify him and take someone just for the sake of taking him. So if you don't like Shedeur, and Cam's going to be gone, Tennessee's going to take him. I mean, why wouldn't they? They'd be foolish not to. He's going to be gone, and I think it will turn into one of these situations where they'll take best player available. And maybe they will somewhere try to trade back up into the first round and see if they can get the best of both worlds, meaning they can improve this football team dramatically from an offensive perspective now with Russell and Jameis, while at the same time maybe hitching their wagon to someone else who maybe they love at a different level, meaning at a different draft level late in the first round.
Russ and Jameis aren't perfect, but they give New York a legit chance to kind of evaluate the roster before they just throw their whole future at another rookie. Russell Wilson had a terrible end to his season last year. The Steelers lost their final 5 games, but he still had a 6-2 touchdown to interception ratio. And on the year, 16 touchdowns to 5 picks, nearly 2,500 yards. It's not bad. And now he might have 2 legit playmakers in Malik Neighbors and possibly Travis Hunter, so that could really open things up for him. Jameis Winston, on the other hand, still Jameis. 13 touchdowns, 12 picks last season. You know what you're getting, which is chaos. But compared to someone like Tommy DeVito, it's definitely an upgrade at the backup position. And at the very least, Jameis seems to be a pretty solid locker room presence, brings good energy, and he's not afraid to let it rip. These aren't long-term solutions, but it's better than panic picking a rookie just to pick a rookie. This should be obvious, but Travis Hunter's the biggest playmaker in this draft, and he's one of the best college football players I've ever seen. You pair him with Malik Neighbors, who's already working his way into that tier 1 of receivers, and Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot, and you don't need your quarterback to play superhero. They're just running the offense. And most importantly, any quarterback you bring in later, whether it's through the draft or free agency, they'll walk into a situation with real weapons. Now let's say Travis Hunter goes number 2. Now what? You could take a swing on Abdul Carter from Penn State. He's a very versatile linebacker. Seems like he's going to be a great player at the pro level, but I don't view this Giants defense, especially their pass rush, as really being a big concern. They might be able to trade back, stack some picks, and rebuild their team. Maybe you grab a guy like Tyler Warren from Penn State, 6'6", super athletic, really does everything. Like he was even taking direct snaps. It's the kind of guy that makes life easier for any quarterback. Or you keep building the O-line, get a guy like Will Campbell, who was projected to be a top 3 pick, but he fell back due to his arm length at the combine. I think that's ridiculous. You watch his film, you can tell the guy's a dog, somebody who can plug and play right away on your offensive line. And if you still want a quarterback, just look at the mid-rounds. You got Kyle McCord, and who knows, even Jackson Dart might fall if, some teams fill their quarterback needs early on. Just don't burn a top 3 pick to find value. You let your vets start, you let your rookies develop. I think that's the plan. You sign Russ, you sign Jameis, you got your stopgap. Take Travis Hunter if he's there, but if he's not, don't reach. You just keep adding talent, add weapons, protect your quarterback. Any quarterback, protect them. The worst thing you could do at number 3 is forget that you've already found some short-term answers and just draft like you're in a panic. The Giants finally have a chance to do this the right way, and hopefully they do it.